To God Crypto G in the house. Blockchain Podcast, taking you from the block to the blockchain. We had Midwest Con at Innovation Hub. Beautiful building, beautiful energy. I'm sitting here with the queen. You know what I mean? One of the queens of Web3, that is. You know what I'm saying? Taking y'all there. She's taking y'all there. We're gonna have some conversations today, man. Camille Smith, listen, man. She's a multi-hyphenated powerhouse. She's a chemical engineer. She's a social entrepreneur, and she's a rapidly growing content creator. She's based in Philly. You know what I mean? As the founder and the CEO of STEM Social. That's right, STEM Social. With a little bit of soul in it, people, you dig, you know what I mean? She has built a thriving hub for aspiring and established Black STEM professionals, fostering community, career growth, and innovation. Salute, Queen. How you feeling, baby?
I feel good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, beautiful, man. It's my pleasure. I'm glad to have you here. Like, how you feeling? How was that panel yesterday? I seen you was doing your thing.
Yeah, I felt good about it. I love being able to have the opportunity to speak at conferences like this. So
that's right.
Any opportunity I definitely like to take.
Oh man, that's good. We got it, and you know, like we need it. The people need it, you know, to be able to, you know, like I say, iron sharpen iron. You know what I mean? And we got to keep each other, you know, on point. And I love how you bring you're switching up the conversation. Let me just say that. You know what I mean? Like we gotta elevate. You know, we gotta grow, people. We gotta build, and we gotta constantly be in a progression state of mind. And I want you to put it in your words, you know what I mean? Because I like how you so eloquently put things yesterday in the panel. I'm like, you know what? I learned something today, man. Camille teaching me something, you know what I mean? Like, let the people know, like, exactly what it is you do.
Yeah, so I do a few things. So I, of course, work as a chemical engineer. That's what I do by training.
Right.
So I currently work as a scientist in upstream process development, so biopharmaceuticals, for those that don't know. I also am the founder and CEO. So STEM Social is my baby.
Hello.
I consider a third space for Black STEM professionals. For those that don't know what third spaces are, I would say your first space is your home. Your second space is usually your job. Your third space as an adult is a little bit hard to come by. So STEM Social really provides both a digital third space, but also an in real life third space. So we travel around, we curate spaces, really trying to strengthen the STEM ecosystem by peer-to-peer networking as opposed to just networking up.
That's right.
And then I also am a content creator as well. So I really love podcasts. I love like short form video, long form video. So I definitely balance a lot, but all of it ends up tying together, just trying to help people, you know, grow.
That's right. That's beautiful, because, you know, we need to be that connector, you know what I mean? You know, like we said, we go out and we network, but, you know, we got to know how to be able to connect the dots, you know what I mean? And we got to also know how to be able to utilize each other for our different skill sets, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever different it is that we bring to the table, you know what I mean? So, like, it's important, you know, that you out there, you spread the word, and you educate, you know, because education is key. I know this should sound corny, and it's true, though, you know what I mean? Like, it's a little cliche, but education is key, man, because without that knowledge, like, you can't really apply and execute.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And growing up, my parents were always so big on like knowledge is power. Again, another cliche.
Yeah. Come on now, yeah.
So if I can do what I can to educate people on just my journey, but also, you know, connecting people to other people in STEM, we have so many transferable skills that people don't realize.
Facts.
So like having those environments that like, okay, like I'm a chemical engineer, but I can listen to a software engineer talk about what they do, and I'm starting to actually understand, you know, what they do on a regular basis, and that wouldn't be possible if we're not, you know, in close proximity to one another.
Come on now. You know what I mean? And that's too why, like, as you know, as deeper we get into the AI era and state of robotics and, you know, just the metaverse and just the digital world, we gotta stay connected as humans too, right? You know what I mean? To ourselves and to each other, right? You know what I mean? Because that's that bond, you know what I mean? So it's like, but I want to ask you though, just taking it back, what even got you into this space? Like, what made you interested in saying, like, you know, I want to become an engineer, I want to get into science? Like,
it's so funny because I've always been a school person. So again, parents really ingrained knowledge is power, right?
Right.
But science actually never came like naturally to me. I distinctly remember in high school, like every other class, like, I don't know, history, reading, even math. I was always good at math, but like science never really came naturally. And I didn't like the fact that it didn't come naturally to me. I was always very, I don't want to call myself hard-headed, but I was always a hard-headed person. I'm like, all right, well, why isn't this, why am I not getting this? So I really locked in on chemistry. I remember in 10th grade, I was like, no, like I need to understand this better. And I had a really good teacher.
Yeah. That's key. That's key too.
Shout out to
Yeah,
the
man.
teachers.
Yeah, shout out to them, to the real ones. You know what I mean? That care, like the care from here. You know what I mean?
That teacher in particular, she would come after school every day and not even like re-explain the lesson plan that she taught in class, but like find another way to try and teach it to me. And I really valued her.
Yeah.
But after that, I fell in love with chemistry. So then I went to college. I was like, all right, I like math, I like chemistry, physics is cool.
Fact.
Let's see what engineering's about. Granted, all three of those things, there's way more to chemical engineering than those. But I found out a little bit too late and I couldn't switch my major. So here we are.
Come on now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most people would have got deterred. You know what I mean? Most people would have been like, you know, always. This is all that come with this. Like, man, listen, I'm all for this. Like, you know, because you know, aside from just the studying and really like, you know, putting yourself out there, you know, it takes like a sense of just like resiliency to even take it on. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of responsibility. Like, you know what I mean? It's like what's that like the heavy the head that wears the crown type of, you know what I mean? So like I gotta salute you on that, Queen, because most people not even going to take that route. You know, everybody want to take the easy route. You know what I mean? Or you know what they comfortable with, should I say? You know what I mean?
Right.
But no, that's beautiful. So what have you learned, like just being in that world? Like what's some of the things like you're like, damn, I ain't, you know, came across this, I ain't think.
I think like my 9 to 5 role has been so cool because it's all problem solving. So I think I like the biopharm space because it's the right balance between you're always problem solving because you're working with, you know, living things, you're working with cells, but also you can generate a level of competency based off of just what you worked on in the past. So I feel like 5 years in, like work is always challenging, but like in like a good way because I can always leverage things that I've learned in the past. And it's been really, really fruitful. Like I love being able to expose other people to biopharm because I learned about biopharmaceuticals very late in like my college career. I think I actually learned about it like my senior year, maybe second semester, and that's only because I took a random elective because my registration time wasn't great.
Hello.
And then I was like, oh, you know, this is cool. Like I want to do this. And, you know, again, now 5 years later, I'm like, wow, like this is a space that I want to be in.
Right. So you just took like a natural interest in it and just like, so it's like, it shows you basically. Like,
yes, I would say so. I would say so.
I feel that. And so has it been like hard being, you know, African American women in the space?
I would say so. I think that's where STEM Social came from because I graduated in my major. I was only one of 4 black students, one of 2 black women in my major. So when I went to work, I kind of naively was like, oh, like, you know, there's gonna be more people.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
more people. So STEM Social really came from a place of honestly, it was selfish. Like I just wanted to find people that were like me, that you know I could talk to, that looked like me, and you know we could kind of kiki, we could have actual friendships.
Facts,
and then I realized that my experience was not unique, and that other people were experiencing this across the nation, across the world. So then STEM Social kind of came about from like that need, of course, that I needed it, but then realizing that other people needed it.
Yeah, because you know, like if you need it, then you know, we always got to do that too. Like just as humans, as individuals, be like, you know, I mean, obviously somebody's always worse off than we are, no matter what situation we're in. But just for us to always know and stay connected, like I said, the human connectivity, just that bond, to know that it's like-minded individuals, or there's people going through the same exact thing, maybe a little different, that we going through, you know what I mean, that we can bond with and grow with, you know what I mean, or just be able to just bounce energy off of, like, you know what I mean. That's
I always
key.
joke with my friends, I feel like we rarely actually have unique experiences. Like everyone's experience relatively similar. So once I was able to kind of get out of my head of like, I was sad at that time. Once I was able to kind of get out of that sadness, like pick my head up, look around, I was like, okay, like I'm not the only person that's ever felt this way before. Sure. I just have to find those people.
Gotta find your tribe.
Again, STEM Social, you know, kind of came about.
Yeah, you gotta find your tribe, and that's good too, because you're in the lane where you know you're used to problem solving and finding solutions. So, like, I think that would be like our people, we need that. You know what I mean? We need outlets and individuals to be able to reach out to in times of need, and just like sometimes, you know, we just might be looking for a different direction or a different way, you know. And that's how I like how you kept the soul in social, you know what I mean? Because us as even doing our podcast, our thing is to make sure that we keep the culture in tech. You know what I mean? So it's like it's always a one hand wash the other type of thing, and like yeah, and keeping that balance is key. Is key. Is key. What's some of the things you're looking forward to on MidwestCon out here?
Just meeting people. I feel like I've already met so many cool people.
Facts.
I love the environment that they've been able to curate here.
Yeah, it's been good.
Everyone's just been like nice, and like even like meeting y'all, like
Right,
it's
yeah.
just it feels very like easy to connect with people because everyone's
True.
very open to
Right.
actually meeting other people.
That is good, yeah,
You don't feel
yeah.
that at all conferences, so I'm really
Nah,
happy
you
with how
don't.
they've
You
done it.
don't. Now, yeah, shout out to Rob once again, man. Shout out to Rob. You see, I got the hat on, man.
Yeah.
Artistic intelligence, everybody. You know what I mean? Artistic intelligence, the real AI, the real AI. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's some advice you have for young men and women trying to get into the world of STEM?
Take up space. I think there's a lot of times that you'll get like subconscious messaging that you shouldn't take up space. But as long as you continue to take up space, ask questions, and it sounds counterintuitive, but like fail forward and fail often. I think something that I learned I wish I learned it quicker, is like the quicker that you are to fail and like be able to iterate yourself, you're going to be able to get closer to whatever you're trying to aim for. So if that's in the STEM space, sometimes you are going to have to like fail that test or fail whatever it is, but like you have to just ensure that you're being persistent and being resilient during your process, because without resilience, it's going to be difficult.
Come on now. And it takes a lot to be a boss, That's the true pioneers, the true innovators, the true creatives, and the movers and shakers, the ones that's able to bounce back, because it's not about, the loss you took. It's about how you bounce back,
Right.
about how you react. And, that's key. That's key. So, man, listen, coming from Philly, man, like, that's crazy, like you wouldn't expect, like, did you think you'd be here right now? Like, I mean, like looking back, like as a kid.
I have my parents. I have to salute them every time that I
Salute,
can.
salute,
And
salute, salute, mom and dad.
Yeah, this was the only option.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's nice. I'm very lucky because they allowed me the agency to decide what I was interested in. I just kind of again fell into science.
Right, yeah.
But I come from good stock. I know the people's shoulders that I stand on. So there was never a scenario that I wasn't going to be able to get to somewhere. Now, did I imagine it being as good as it currently is?
Right. Yeah.
This
That's
is from
real.
the beginning, so I'm excited.
No, that's real, man. I love that, man. Having that chemical engineering background and just being able to, you're already a problem solver right there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now to bring it culturally, like, you know what I mean? Like that's dope, man. That's just dope. What you see for yourself in the next 5 years?
Ooh, I recently had that conversation. STEM Social, I want to be able to impact and serve more communities. So currently we're in 16 different cities around the United States.
Oh,
we're
nice.
going international in October to London, which I'm really excited about. So I just want to make sure that
Congrats. Yes,
we're growing
yes.
and ensuring that we're still keeping intimacy at the core of our org. Like something that's very important to me is, again, similar to how that feeling of MidwestCon is, like
Right.
everyone's open, everyone's open and ready to make friendships, make professional connections. That's what I want STEM Social to be.
Organic, yeah.
Exactly. So I want that for sure. I don't know. I might go back to school. I've been thinking about school recently. I've been thinking about, again, what do I want my impact within the biopharmaceutical industry to be? I know that it's going to be a big one. It's just more a function of what I decide and what I'm going to go towards.
Yeah, come on.
And also continue to build content creating. Like I really enjoy storytelling.
Of course,
That's
come
one
on.
thing
That's the
that-
shit right now, like, you know? Yeah, now I was gonna ask you too, like, what do you think, like, what barriers still, like, keep, like, underrepresented groups, you know what I mean, from the STEM, and like, marginalized communities and people, of course.
I would say accessibility, but I say that to say, I think something that STEM Social has been working on is we actually have a podcast ourselves called STEM Talks on Tap. And the whole purpose is just to make STEM accessible to people that either don't have a background in it or are trying to transition into it.
Right.
So I think something that I always think about is like, you can really tell if somebody's smart if they can explain something to you or explain something to somebody that does not have a background in it. So if I'm able to sit here and explain, okay, I work in biopharmaceuticals, this is actually what I do, and you can walk around and be like, no, Camille's a chemical engineer, she works in that space, this is exactly what she does, that would make me a smart person. So I want to make sure that marginalized communities actually have access to it. A lot of people just turn their ears off whenever I say I'm an engineer, and I'm like, no, like anybody can do this, like.
And not to cut you off, because that's something else too, like, quick before we get out of there, because us just as a people, I'm talking right now culturally, like, we got to stop doing that as well, because we tend to hear certain things like, oh, chemical engineering,
Right,
Like,
you know what I'm
it's
saying?
like, wait, hold on, bro, hold on. Like,
Yep,
you know what I mean? Give the
anyone
queen a
can do it.
chance, like, and give yourself a chance. How
Right.
about that? Like, how you know you're not gonna be interested in being a chemical engineer? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, like, yeah, we gotta elevate. We gotta elevate. We move on higher frequencies for sure. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Now, it's beautiful, queen. I love it. Anything you got going on that you want to shout out this year coming up?
STEM Social is having our first annual summit, November 7th through 9th in Philadelphia. Very excited about it. I'm really excited to bring people around the nation to Philly and just be able to showcase how beautiful a city it is, but also like how much we have to offer. We have so much life sciences, tech, engineering, whatever you're interested in. So I'm really excited. Registration is already open. Speakers are about to start dropping. So hopefully I get to see y'all there.
I love it, man. I love it, Queen. Before we get out of here, I know you rapping. I know you changing lives and stuff, but then you got like a little story you want to share with us about how the STEM social has just like impacted some people out there, some certain individuals.
Yes. Oh my goodness. What to choose from? Actually, recently, which I think is funny because I think sometimes with social impact, it's hard to like quantify, but something that I thought was cool relatively recently is I went to an event in Boston, or we had an event in Boston. And the thing about people in STEM, they're usually a little bit more introverted, which is perfectly fine.
Facts,
so whenever
facts.
I curate an event, I'm like, okay, the most introverted person walks in, do they feel that they can actually talk to somebody? So there was a girl that was standing there. She was having a little bit more difficult of a time, like, jumping into a conversation.
Right.
So I went up to her, I was like, yo, do you need help? And she's like, yeah. So I brought her up to this girl. They were together the entire time. Real cool. I want to say maybe like 2 or 3 months later, I'm scrolling on Instagram and I see the both of them in Costa Rica. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, first no invite is crazy.
No invite to Costa
It
Rica.
is insane. And she was like, no, bro, like after we met at the Boston Mixer, like this is like my best friend. Like she's literally on a family trip with me. I said, oh. We're making connections. Now, granted, how can I quantify that like in an impact report? I'm not
Right.
sure,
Yeah,
but, like,
true. But in real life, though, it's happening.
what we're doing, we're legitimately creating a legitimate network of
That's
people that not only, again, professionally, that type of stuff will come along with it when people like to work with their friends,
Right.
but we're actually creating a space that people don't feel alone, in their field,
facts.
So
Yeah.
that was super, super cool for me.
dope.
Shout out to both of them if y'all listening.
Shout out.
I want to go to Costa Rica.
You dig? Like, come on, I ain't never been to Costa Rica either. Yeah, like, I like the little trip to Costa Rica.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
see, I keep saying, I can't even say Costa Rica. Costa Rica, like, I gotta have the Rica in that motherfucker. Like, every time it's crazy. Like, yeah, man, this is what we do here, man. World of Web3, man. We have fun, man. We play hard, we work hard, and we collaborate. We do not hate guys and girls. You know what I mean? This is what's going on. Yo, my guy Barry in the building. What up, brother? You know what I'm saying? You already know, bro. This how we do, man. It's a party. It's a tribe vibe. I got the Queen Camille Smith in the building. STEM Social. That's right. Social with that little bit of that soul. Like, you know what I mean? Like when we sprinkling that good spice in the soul food, you know what I mean? She cooking it up and mixing it up like a pot of gumbo for you guys and girls. I love this, man. Before we get out of here, what's your social media?
At I'm Camille Smith on all social media platforms, and for STEM Social, STEMSOULCIAL.
That's right. And don't forget the SOUL, man, because she keeping the soul in this, you know what I mean? Until next time, you know what I mean? I'm Crypto G, Blockchain Podcast, taking from the block to the blockchain. That's the queen over there, you know what I'm saying? Paving the way out there for you guys and girls. Camille Smith, STEM Social, I mean, because we're keeping the soul. We're keeping the soul. And man, I'm having some good soul food today. How about that? Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to find me a good soul food spot out here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Shout out to Rob. What up, brother, man? Continued success, man. Keep it going. Midwest Con, Disruption Now. Shout out to my guy, Jalo. We in the building like we do.